The Moroccan Girl and the Guardians of the Jinn. Once upon a time, nestled in the foothills of the majestic Atlas Mountains in Morocco, there lived a young girl named Layla. She was no ordinary girl. From the day she was born, whispers surrounded her family. Villagers claimed she had eyes that gleamed like amber under the moonlight and an aura that could silence even the fiercest desert winds. But it wasn't just her striking presence that set her apart, it was the invisible protection that seemed to surround her. Layla's life was peaceful yet strange. She lived with her grandmother, Amina, in a small, clay-bricked house that stood on the edge of the village. Amina was the village's herbalist and a woman known for her deep knowledge of ancient traditions. Though loved and respected, Amina was also feared. People believed she could commune with spirits, and they were certain that her granddaughter had inherited this gift, or curse. From a young age, Layla noticed odd occurrences. If she wandered too far into the forest, strange footprints would appear beside hers. On windy nights, voices whispered her name, not with malice but with a strange, soothing cadence. Objects in her home would move on their own, and animals, even wild ones, treated her with a mix of deference and fear. One evening, when Layla was about 16, the truth was revealed. She had ventured into the forest to gather herbs for her grandmother. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of deep orange and purple. As darkness settled, Layla heard the faint rustling of leaves, though the air was still. She froze. From the shadows emerged a figure, neither fully human nor entirely ethereal. It was tall, cloaked in a shimmering fabric that seemed to be woven from the night itself. Its voice was deep and melodic. "Do not be afraid, child," the figure said. "We mean you no harm." "We?" Layla managed to whisper, her heart pounding. At that moment, dozens of glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. Surrounding her were members of a Jinn tribe. The leader stepped closer and explained, "We have watched over you since your birth. Your bloodline is sacred, and you are destined for greatness. It is our duty to protect you." From that day on, Layla's life changed. The Jinn were her silent guardians, intervening whenever danger threatened. If someone tried to harm her or her grandmother, strange accidents would befall them. A thief once attempted to break into their home but was found the next morning wandering the village in a daze, muttering about fire and eyes. But Layla's connection to the Jinn was not without its burdens. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some villagers revered her, believing she was blessed, while others feared her, accusing her of witchcraft. She felt isolated, torn between the human world she yearned to belong to and the supernatural realm she couldn't escape. One fateful night, everything came to a head. A group of men from the village, led by a fanatical preacher, decided to confront Layla and her grandmother. They accused them of bringing misfortune to the village and demanded they leave. As the mob approached their home, torches in hand, the air grew heavy, and an unnatural stillness descended. Layla stepped outside, her heart racing. The leader of the mob raised his torch, but before he could speak, a deafening roar filled the air. The ground trembled, and the torches extinguished themselves. Out of the darkness emerged the Jinn, their forms towering and otherworldly. Their leader spoke, his voice echoing like thunder. "You dare threaten one under our protection? Leave now, or face consequences beyond your comprehension." Terrified, the mob scattered, never to bother Layla or Amina again. From that day forward, the villagers kept their distance, and Layla's life returned to its quiet rhythm, though she continued to grapple with her unique destiny. Interlude, a Sudanese tale of terror. Years later, Layla traveled to Sudan, seeking answers about her lineage and the mystical forces that surrounded her. In a small village near the Nile, she met an elderly woman named Fatima, who was renowned for her knowledge of the unseen world. Over cups of spiced tea, Fatima shared a chilling tale. Years ago, Fatima began, there was a young man named Idris. He was a skeptic, dismissing all talk of spirits and the supernatural. One night, as a dare, he entered an abandoned house said to be cursed. The villagers warned him, but he laughed, saying he feared no ghost. As Idris stepped inside, the air grew cold. The house was eerily silent, except for the occasional creak of wood. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him. Turning, he saw nothing. Then, out of nowhere, a voice whispered, "Leave now, or you will never leave at all." Idris tried to run, but the door slammed shut. For hours, the villagers heard his screams, but no one dared approach. When the door finally creaked open at dawn, Idris stumbled out. His hair had turned white, and he was muttering incoherently. He never spoke of what he saw, but he was never the same again. Fatima looked at Layla, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and reverence. The unseen world is vast and powerful. Some are protected, like you, but others, she trailed off, shaking her head. The choice. Layla returned to Morocco, her mind heavy with all she had learned. She now understood the depth of her connection to the supernatural but was faced with a choice. Should she embrace her destiny as a bridge between the human and Jinn worlds, or should she try to lead a normal life, leaving the mysteries behind? In the end, Layla chose to accept her fate. She used her unique position to help those in need, mediating between the two worlds. Over time, she became a legend, a figure shrouded in mystery but remembered for her kindness and strength. And so, the girl guarded by a tribe of Jinn lived on, her story whispered in hushed tones, a reminder of the delicate balance between the seen and the unseen.